Welcome back, friends. LostScarf here, and it's time for Apollo Justice, Ace Attorney, and I have no clue how I'm going to voice this guy. I have no idea. But, it's been a couple months since Phoenix Wright 3, and now we got a new character who, until proven otherwise, it's totally a son. He's totally a son. I have no idea. Let's go do this thing. Turnabout Trump. Topical. Okay, turnabout Trump. Go. I think it's the setup we had last time for... Oh, hello. Is this really loud? It sounds really loud to me. Is it really loud? Showdown time! Ooh! Full house. Fine is fine, okay. You lose! Ah! Bottled! Eek! Ghosts! Oh, someone's hella dead. Phones are ringing. I seem to be in a bit of trouble. Something like that. Dead. Someone hit him hard. Me? Please. The cop should be here any minute. I'm in your hands. Should it come to that? Familiar. April 20th. Oh God, light it. 9:37 a.m. District Court, Defendant Lobby number 3. Panicked, palms sweaty, arms spaghetti. Okay. What is the voice of Apollo Justice? Because Phoenix Wright is, you know, he's Phoenix Wright's like, objection! That's Phoenix Wright. Apollo is, you know, he just looks like a young kid, so... Panicked, palms sweaty. I can admit it, I'm nervous. Ah, good morning. Gaze at us or them. Oh, God, that was the right voice. Good morning, sir. You look tense, Justice. Wound up tight. But wound up, sir? No, I'm loose. I'm fine. That screeching noise. Is that your voice? I suppose it's to be expected. The first trial and it's a homicide. I guess justice doesn't start small, eh? I'm fine. I got up at 5 a.m. to do my Chords of Steel voice workout, and I'm fine. Is that the judge in the background? Oh, that explains it. I did detect a certain rasping quality to your screech. I'm gonna make him sit down. Make him sit down. I ever did it again. As you know, your client today is a good friend of mine. I wouldn't want to let him down. If you get my drift. Drift gotten, sir. I'm also over that drift. As it happens, I dined with him the night of the murder. We can't let this case fall through. Yes, I'm fine, sir. One more thing. Don't say you're fine quite so much. People might take you the wrong way. I'll be preparing our case. You might want to introduce yourself to the client. My name is Apollo Justice. If it isn't clear already, I'm a new attorney. And today is my first trial. Not that I'm worried or anything. The defendant has been accused of murder. My boss wants to help out, of course, and so do I. I mean, there's no way he did it. Not him. No way. Is it Phoenix? Holy balls! Whoa! He looks weird. Good, morning. Morning. It's all up to you today. First trial, nervous. Meeting him, cardiac arrest. I think I'm supposed to say something. Help? So you're... Fine! I'm fine! Is this his quirk? Ah, Mr. Fine, is it? I did remember you having an odd name. Well, we're off to a great start. Are you sure you're okay? I mean, with me? Mr. Gavin is a top-notch defense attorney. And he's your friend. So why? You'll see. Huh? You can do it. Be confident. I'm really sorry this happened to you. I mean, It's time, shall we? Yes, sir! Okay, I need to focus. First trial. Here comes Justice. By the way, that's his last name, right? So what the hell? Light at 10 a.m. District Court, courtroom number 2. Is that who I think it is? Also the judge! The court is now in session. Freaking Payne with a different hairdo, are you kidding me? Did I go Goblin voice for Payne? I think I did, so... The prosecution is ready, Your Honor. The defense is, fine. I'm ready, Your Honor. Mind going blank. Don't panic. Too late. Your name was Mr. Justice. And this is your first trial? Yes, Your Honor. But I'm fine, really. Are you quite sure? Your voice sounds a bit strained. Mr. Gavin? Yes, Your Honor. I was under the impression that you would be heading up this case. That was my intention, yes. However, a defense attorney must always cede to his client's wishes. And my client specifically requested Mr. Justice. Well, of course he wants justice. But to entrust this case to this greenhorn, why? I do not exaggerate when I say that you're the best defense attorney in town, Mr. Gavin. What about Phoenix Wright? Okay, so Gavin's got trial experience, fine. But does he have cords of steel? Then let's begin. The defendant may enter the courtroom. This is truly an unfortunate turn of events. I'm sorry we had to meet again under these circumstances. Long time no see, Mr. Knight. I was right! Haha! It is Phoenix. What the hell does he look so weird? Let's put the past behind us, shall we? These days, I'm merely Phoenix Wright, piano player. Please tell me he's actually a hitman and that's just a euphemism for murdering people with piano wire. Mr. Wright, how could this have happened? I won't speak of it further then. If the prosecution would be so kind as to explain the charges, Mr. Payne. I think I saw you enter this room a fresh attorney, and now I see you leave in chains. Ah, Winston Payne. Subtle as ever, I see. Ahem! The crime occurred at the Borscht Ball Club. A Russian restaurant. Oh, borscht, right. It comes in a bowl. The defendant, Phoenix Wright, took the victim, a customer, and he hit him. Wham! On the head. Smack! Killed him cold. A customer at the restaurant, you say? And the defendant, you say he was... The pianist for the club, it seems. Phoenix Wright, a pianist? This is the weapon that took the victim's life. A bottle of grape juice. Totally not wine. Grape juice is apparently a defendant's drink of choice. The court accepts the deadly bottle as evidence. The court accepts the worst drink as evidence. Deadly bottle added to courtroom. Record. Ooh, we got record. Something to note, Justice. All evidence is filed in the court record. Alright, of course. Make a practice of checking it frequently. The court record. Right! I've heard of that. Use the court record button to look at the evidences so far. I'm confident in your ability to handle this. Right, the court record button. Sounds like it's time for some hands-on action. How long did I yearn for one of these? Just putting it on makes me feel ready. Ah, yeah, this thing, right, where you can do this stuff. Oh, this is gonna make the game take forever. This is our badge number. There's a number inscribed on the back of the badge. There are many numbers like it, but this one is mine. Proof that I'm an attorney. 29003. When will this become relevant? To tell the truth, I get a happy feeling inside just looking at it. Let's see here. Time of death was around 2 a.m., April 17th. Death caused by single blow to forehead. Victim name, Shady Smith. Alright. Shady Smith. Male. Estimated time of death, 1:45 a.m., 2:15 a.m. Cerebral hemorrhaging resulting from blunt trauma to forehead. That's a hard hit. Alright, crime photo number 1. The sub-basement at the Borscht Bowl Club. Check. Ticket right to the head. He's got a hat on. The hat absorbed nothing? Crap hat. Grape juice bottle used as the murder weapon. There's the defendant, Mr. Wright's prints. Well, if he's drinking, of course he's holding it. Hold it. Okay, let's see here. Examine. Grape juice. How long has it been since I drank grape juice? Apparently it's Mr. Wright's favorite drink. I wonder how well it goes with borscht. All that. We know his prints are on it, so I don't have to worry about that. That's gonna be the label again, isn't it? Is the label again? Nope! The bottle's completely empty. Alright. Oh, it's just the bottle. Okay, let's know that. Baku! Baku? Forward. So the victim was a customer at this restaurant. But just who was this, Shady Smith fellow? We believe he was a traveler, Your Honor. A traveler? According to his passport, he had been out of the country for a number of years. He had only returned to this country recently, though his place of residence is unclear. He had some sort of connection with the defendant. That, too, is unclear at the present, Your Honor. We believe they first met at the Borscht Bowl Club, on the night of the crime. If they had only just met, then why murder? Perhaps the victim slighted the defendant's piano playing? That doesn't appear to have been the case. No, the motive had nothing to do with the defendant's lack of playing skill. At least not piano playing. I'll let this photo explain what I mean. As we can see, a game of poker was in progress at the scene of the crime. Wait a second. Isn't poker gambling? There's a crime in and of itself. Indeed, it appears a defendant has fallen to become the basest sort of criminal. I don't have this voice yet. That's his voice. I guess the voice matches him. It is true that the defendant was engaged in a game of poker with the victim. Yet it was only that, a game, in its purest sense. A competition, Your Honor. A competition? Yes, a test of wits, a silent clash of passions. Only the cards, the backs wreathed in blue flame, know its final outcome. Come again? The cards on the table had blue backs, Your Honor. I believe the defense was waxing poetic in an attempt to mystify those present, and impress women. That guy ain't riding any lady. That will be our first order of business here, then. To find out more about this fatal game of cards. Very well, defendant. You will testify to the court about the poker competition held the night of the crime. My pleasure. This is it. My first trial. Nothing. Here goes nothing. Witness the competition. I'm a pianist by trade, yet I can hardly play at all. My real job is to take on interested customers over at the poker table. The room where we play and the competition in there are the club's main attractions. The rules are simple. We play a game of poker using 2 decks of cards. That's all it is. A game, and our customers are happy. Does he object to winnings? A pianist who can't play piano? Better than a defense attorney who can't defend. Burn. Very well. The defense may begin the cross-examination. Right, Your Honor. My first cross-examination. Don't blow it! Are you alright? You're sweating bullets? That was more, Edgeworth. He does look Edgeworthy, but I don't know if Edgeworth's gonna show up in this game. So I can't do too much Edgeworth. Are you alright? You're sweating bullets. Bullets? Where? It's a figure of speech, Justice. Your voice sounds strained and raspy, too. My brain feels strained and raspy, sir. You've watched me perform cross-examination many times. Though you've never done one yourself, have you? Here for a refresher? What to do? Should I ask Mr. Gavin for a refresher course in cross-examination? Okay, I will defer to Yoshi. Is the refresher worth doing, or say no? Because if there's anything worth seeing in there, fine. But if it's not, then we'll just skip out of it. Because if it's just boring fluff, then I remember refresher does, to be honest. Son of a... Alright, we're doing a refresher. Hope it's good. Here we go. Better safe than sorry, especially this early in the game. Yes, teach me. I know nothing. True words. Indeed, your job, Justice, is to be mindful of the court record and the testimony. Look for inconsistencies in the testimony with what the court record tells you. When you've found an inconsistency, that's when you present the conflicting evidence from the court record. But I didn't hear anything strange at all in the testimony just now. A good sign that you need to press the victim for more information. Press him? Don't let the fact that he's a remarkable man hold you back. Get more information. But isn't Mr. Rod my client? Well, think you can do it? Yes, thank you, sir. I think I can do it. I think you'd better, or we're going to have a problem. Just remember, I believe in you. Find any inconsistencies, any lies in the testimony, and reveal them to the court. That is cross-examination. Learn it, know it, do it, believe it. Inconsistencies? Lies? Phoenix Wright? As if! Phoenix Wright would never lie, and it's up to me to prove it. The defense may begin the cross-examination. Oh, balls. Press him good. I'm pretty sure that's what our boss wants. That's his voice? Hold it! You can hardly play. Oh, I play sometimes, when customers demand it. So I play them one song. That's usually all they want. Was that supposed to be a boast just now? The title of pianist is a mask. A respectable face I wear for the world at large. Does this hat say Papa? Then why are you really at the Borscht Bull Club? I'm undercover. I have no idea. Real job. Press. They pay you just to play poker? That would seem to be the case. I'm a professional after all. Ah! Do I detect pride in that statement? It's just hard for an honest, hard-working member of society like me to imagine. Yes. It is a Papa hat. What the hell? Papa beanie? He's popped a beanie. Okay. I gotta... Hold on. Objection. Yes, your imagination was always a bit limited, Winston. What? You banned me? I played poker for 7 years in that little room. And I've never lost. Once. What? You see why the customers come now? Defeat the undefeated poker champion. It's quite a draw. That is, I'm quite a draw. When did Phoenix get so cocky? Wait, you've never lost? Not even one time? As I said, I'm a professional. He's played poker for 7 years and not lost once. Is that even possible? Hey, Ninjax. Yeah, perfect place to pop in, seeing Phoenix Wright on the defense tape chair. He's been playing poker for 7 years, which means this is 7 years later? The room in the crime scene photo, is it an attraction? It has quite a history, actually. The Borscht Bowl Club used to be a gathering spot for black market types back in the day. Black market? All in the past. Things like the black market are only on the silver screen nowadays. Suffice it to say that there were a lot of deals being made under the table. Right there in that room. A smoky room. Gambling hoods, you know. Just looking at this picture makes me feel bad. The bosses gather around the table, cutting deals, safe from the eyes of the law. Meanwhile, a goon keeps watch through the small window. I can practically It's been 7+ years. Okay, Yoshi confirms. I can practically picture it now. That window does... that window does look like it would be good for keeping a lookout, but little else. Ah, there it is! There's light in the window. The room had a few other tricks to it, though it was common knowledge to our regulars. At any rate, they come to play poker in a room steeped in history. Despite the dark past, it was all just good. Clean fun. So we gotta present that there's sunlight there, so we'll do that in a bit. Press? Always press them as much as we can. 2 decks of cards. A simple measure to prevent cheating. If you alternate 2 decks, no one can slip in cards. There's something else I noticed. In addition to the cards on the table, there are some lying scattered on the floor. Precisely. Cards on the table, cards upon the floor. Each one forming a complete deck. A crime scene painted blue by a sad sweep of cards. It's poetic, really. Incidentally, we used 2 types of cards at the club. One deck of cards was red, the other blue. As I recall in poker, you make 5-card hands. I can see how it would be easy to cheat. Heh. Yes, a game of hands. Ah! This competition you're talking about. I believe the court understands the nature of the game sufficiently. That's right. It was a simple game, after all. Are you sure? Huh? People are not murdered over simple games, Mr. Justice. Defendant, you were in the room the very moment that the crime occurred. Yet you claim no connection to the crime? Now that's strange. What's strange? I was testifying about the competition that night. Asking me about the crime at this point is against the rules, Your Honor. Of course, I expected to hear a cry of objection from the defense. I completely let that one slip by. My Prince of Dawn and Phoenix are a little too close together, aren't they? Let's hope they don't talk too much. Don't despair yet, Justice. Sir? Right. There's something I'd like made clear. Namely, your connection to the case at hand. And I'd like to hear it from you. Sure, why not? Okay. I'm trying to reach the top of my throat with Prince of Dawn, with Kristoff. I'm going for the bottom of my throat with Phoenix. So hopefully that differentiates it enough. Why do you hate Kristoff? I don't know why you hate Kristoff. Very well, the defendant will amend his testimony. Just one little press. And I've got myself a whole new testimony. I plead silence regarding the murder, but I will say I never touched the murder weapon. Then how is prints on it? How is prints on it? How is prints on it? Alright, press him on this. Silence? The defendant has the right to refuse to testify. I haven't forgotten everything about the law. But why? That clearly puts you at a disadvantage. And it's your job to turn that around in our favor, yes? Great. Like I didn't have enough to do already. I believe in you. Justice, didn't you detect anything odd about that testimony? Huh? Wait, something you said did ring a little strangely. Just one thing. Now what was it? When you figure it out, I'd suggest presenting evidence. Evidence that contradicts the testimony. A contradiction in Mr. Wright's testimony? But why? I'd better check the court record. I can't imagine Mr. Wright lying in a testimony. Isn't it a little early to be jumping into conclusions? To conclusions? This is your first cross-examination. Take it slow. If you need more information, don't forget to press. Right, I got it. I'm fine. Time to listen to the testimony again. His fingerprints are on it. Got a really flat face. So you say you didn't touch the murder weapon? This grape juice bottle? Right? So I said. Something the matter, Mr. Justice? Oh my god, he flicked his hair! Oh my god! Oh my god, he did that. Too bad our new defense attorney never learned how to play dumb. What's this, Mr. Payne? I examined the bottle in question, you see? And it was covered with the defendant's fingerprints. Objectione! No need to shout, Mr. Justice. I can hear you just fine. Excess yelling can damage the judge's ears, and our case. But, what about my cords of steel? He's hammering that thing good, though. And anyway, what's so strange about fingerprints on a bottle in a restaurant? Well, that's true. The prints alone don't prove it to be... Ah! Oh, they wouldn't prove a thing if they were normal fingerprints. Huh? But the fingerprints on the murder weapon were upside down. Oh, that's a good one. Upside down? What does that mean? It means he was holding the bottle inverted, and there can only be one reason for that. He's got a point there. Unless he just grabbed it weird, like I have. If it's on the ground, I've grabbed it weird. If it's on the ground, you're gonna grab it like this, you can grab it like this. You can grab it like this. And then correct it. Yes, to braid someone with a bottle. Ugh! That was an interesting reaction. Mr. Gavin, I think things just took a turn for the worse. Oh, I see no problem, Justice. By the way, every time I do this guy's voice, I flex because of Prince Adon's flexing in his only line of the game. That's the reason why I do it. I believe in you. My left arm's gonna be so flexed. Huh? The only thing that matters is the truth. There's a good reason for everything. You'll see. Defendant, can you explain your fingerprints on this bottle to the court? I stand by my plea of silence regarding the murder. For now. Not very cooperative, are you? This could hurt your case. I'm sure he's uncooperative because he's hiding something. There must be some reason. Ah, now he's objecting. Your Honor, you seem to have forgotten something. And what might that be, Mr. Gavin? On the night of the crime, who was it who reported the murder to the police? Reported? Well, that was the defendant, Mr. Wright. But still, that... Really? Yes, well, according to the case file, the murder was reported from the near the scene by a call from the defendant's cell phone. Near the scene? Let's take a look at a diagram of the murder scene, shall we? The victim was murdered in a small room in a basement 2 floors down from ground level. Of course, cell phones can't get reception so far down. The defendant used the stairs in this hallway to go above ground. Oh yeah, of course he took the picture of the noise. Okay. The call came from the first floor of the restaurant. I see. This is the phone that made the call? Jesus, it's 7 years old. Right, cell phone. Does it still have its ringtone? The defendant could have just fled the scene of the crime if he so chose. Yet he fulfilled his duty as a citizen and reported it to the authorities. And you claim he is being uncooperative? Nice save, Mr. Gavin. I'd better not waste this. I think the prosecution has toyed with our client enough for the time being. Toyed? I assure you no one is more serious about... What was it you said? The defendant was in the room the very moment the crime occurred? How can you possibly know this? That's a good question. How indeed? The answer is simple, Your Honor. The prosecution has a decisive witness. As good as they say you are. The witness is the murderer. So someone else was in the room the night of the crime? Unless it's Maya. If it's Maya, it's not the murder. She's not the murderer. It must mean they witnessed the crime. Everything up till now has been a warm-up, Justice. Are you ready? Very well. The prosecution may call its first witness to the stand. Alright. What? Oh, it's a Russian lady. It's a Russian girl. The witness will state her name and profession. Hold on just a moment. Where's the witness? I know we've done a pair before, but are we really going to have a plate be the witness here? Oh God. I surmise that she has been frightened by the defense's demonic-looking horns. So use a little hair gel. Relax, people. Have no fear. If any horns point in your direction, this court will cut them off. Huh? Oh God, it's a girl voice. Okay, I try. I would break you. Okay, you are sure? That's wrong. I swear on my I swear it on my gavel. Please come out. Isn't violence against hair a crime, Your Honor? Well, if you are sure it is, okay. That is a terrible voice I'm trying to do here. Oh, she's so cute. I am not the prosecution. Oh my God, she has a camera. No, wait a minute. What's the prosecution care to explain to witnesses? Paraphernalia? Look how cute she is. Oh my God. Yes, she is a professional, Your Honor. Those are merely the tools of her trade. And that would be... Her name is Olga Orly. Olga Orly. Ogerly? Ogerly? I'm going with Ogerly. Olga Orly? My name is Olga Orly. I am employed as waitress in Borscht Bowl Club restaurant. Then why the camera? Of course, it is my pride to serve Borscht, that is naming restaurant. But I also perform how it is said other service. Which other service? Asking for a friend. I take it one of these other services is taking the customer's pictures? Da. Like, for example, this one. Da. Like, for example, this one. That's the defendant? Indeed, on the night of the murder. Man in white hat is one who has gone kaput. Indeed, that is the victim. Her outfit's so cute. Order! This is quite a piece of evidence to casually drop into our laps. It is same way as I drop cold bowls of borscht on laps of customers. Casually. Then the court will casually accept this new evidence. Olga's photo added to the court record. I can't do her voice at all. Now, witness, where were you at the time of the murder? I was in room, the hideout, we call it. Excuse me? The hideout? It is room where famous gangster bad guy was arrested. Is room where murder took place. What? Your look of utter surprise, it is lovely. Oh my god. I will post my courtroom door later for you. Da. Photos will be numbered, and you will write which ones you want copy of. So there were 3 people in the room at the time of the crime. The victim, Shoddy Smith, Mr. Wright, and Olga Orley, our witness. And if Mr. Wright isn't the killer, that means... Well, if she's Russian, she can break somebody, so... Very well, witness. You will testify to the court about that night's events. Like... Going to life for a moment, there is a 60-year-old Russian woman at my gym, and she could break anyone in half. She is tough as hell. Like, she just... Like, whenever I see her at the gym, she does, like, 50 freaking... What do they call them again? Chin-ups, like they're nothing. She just goes, and goes, and goes, and keeps going. I'm like, oh, holy crap. It's impressive. That fateful night. That night, customer asked me to deal cards for game. It was called. Both players played, with hats on, da. The victim, he plays whole time with his hand on locket at his neck. Then last hand is done, but something terrible has happened, da. That man flew at victim, and is strangling him to death. Where's the bottle in this? Incidentally, who won the game? Isn't it obvious? The winner was the victim, Mr. Smith. He's got like monkey hands right there. That's ridiculous. Because Mr. Wright can't lose. Justice. Maybe you can come up with a more legitimate objection. But he hadn't lost in 7 years. Take it from me, kid. It happens. I didn't lose a case my first 7 years as prosecutor. Either. Incidentally, I have some evidence here. Really? He never lost none. He's just a tutorial guy every time. These are the poker chips as they lay the very moment of the crime. The hand and chips on this side belong to the defendant, Mr. Wright. Those on the far side belong to the victim, Mr. Smith. Chips, you say? I mean, yes. Imagine that poker is war. The hand is your army, and the chips are the spoils. I know that. After all, in my youth, I was known as the poker head of courtroom number 3. You were not. I think he means poker face. Looking at this picture, it does seem that most of the chips are on the victim's side of the table. Chip photo added to the court record. How do we know the chips didn't just get bounced around? Very well. The defense may cross-examine the witness. She's so cute. That fateful night. Press her good. You were dealing cards? Do you do this often? I am doing this. If customer wishes it, I serve If customer wish it, I serve anything. Borscht, cards, more borscht, other things. It is my work. She is way too cute. It's good to hear of a place that hasn't forgotten the meaning of service. Welcome you to Borscht Bowl Club, where borscht is as warm as the waitresses. Thank you for not handing out flyers during the cross-examination. Oh, we don't get evidence? Okay. It's already April. How could it be cold? At Borscht Club, we have pride. An authentic, rustic, Russian restaurant theme. Outside it is city in spring, but inside it is always as cold as Mother Russia. No way am I going there. When it comes to hot borscht, cold is best seasoning. When it comes to hot borscht, cold is best seasoning, da? Press her some more. His locket? His locket? I believe it was good luck charm, da? He gripped it many times as he played that night. Yes, he must have felt as though it might carry him to the moon and the stars. Though it was small enough to fit around his neck, it wouldn't have much lift. What even did he just say? The defense would like a clarification. Is this a locket we're talking about? I mean, oh, rocket. Oh my god, Japanese humor! Rolling R's and L's together. That was the joke. Oh my god. I mean, a pendant with a picture in it, right? Not a rocket? Of course, I knew that. Okay, that's gotta be a direct translation joke right there. It was probably a pendant shaped like a rocket. That's why she called it that. No, a locket's a locket. It doesn't matter what shape it is. It's considered bad form to poke fun at the heart of hearing in our society. Hard of hearing or hard of understanding. So what happened next? Keep pressing her. Something terrible? Eek! The defense will refrain from needless shouting. Sorry. I need to seriously reconsider this vocal training thing. Now, Miss Orley, can you tell us what happened? Oh, I was so frightened, I trembled with fear. We don't even get anything out of that? Okay, next one. But the defendant would never do such a thing! Eek! Well now, I can't say I've ever heard the defense try this tactic. If possible, please refrain from embarrassing me. 'Cause I believe in you. There it is. Still, why would anyone do something like this over a game of poker? Perhaps it is because defendant has lost game? Yes, a crushing defeat for a man undefeated. So it always is with men like him, winners make sore losers. Oh, how the mighty fall. Go ahead, I believe you know what it is you need to do, and I believe in you. Right, sir, leave it to me. There were only 3 people at the room at the time of the murder. The victim, Shoddy Smith, Mr. Wright, and if Mr. Wright isn't the killer... I've got you now, Orley. Oh, really? Check the evidence. We have some new things. Let's take a look at the cell phone. The defendant to notify the police on the restaurant's first floor. I can examine this too. Why is there a note? Wow, the batteries are held in with a piece of tape. You should just buy a new one. Maybe he can't afford it. Or he just doesn't care. Definitely Nokia now. That was the only evidence? That's it? Okay. Defendant and Mr. Smith. Yeah, the defendant and Mr. Smith at the Borscht Club. Okay. Defendant victim's chips when crime took place. This Phoenix side, he doesn't have a lot of chips, he's got all these chips. What's that down there? Is that a card? 3 kings, 2 aces. 3 sevens, 2 aces. The bottle's on this side, though. Alright, let's keep going. Yeah, they got their hats on, yeah. Oh, you can't tell he's got the locket on. Okay, forget that. Wait. Phoenix has a locket. The victim doesn't, does he? Also, wait, there's no witnesses thing anymore? There's no witness thing anymore. Can I just read witnesses, or am I in the wrong thing? There's no locket there. Either one probably would. He has a locket there, doesn't he? We'll try this one. Present. The witness statement is clearly faulty, Your Honor. I'm sorry, but I can see nothing faulty. Unfortunately, I will have to penalize you, Mr. Justice. Ah, must be on the wrong track. Alright, let's try the other picture then. Neither? Alright, okay. I'm looking at the picture here. There's no locket on the victim. Alright, keep going then, okay. That's not what killed him. There, finally. Alright, there we go. Oh, really? Strangled, you say? That's hard. Normal customer only choke on borscht. No, I mean, this report shows that the victim died of a blow to the head. Miss Orley, really now? Did you witness the crime? Eek! Eek! Oh, that is pro. Gee, Spider-Man, that one, nice. Oh yeah, we can scum save, forgot about that. Looking at the picture, it doesn't seem like he was hit. He's still wearing his hat and everything. Yet it is a fact that he was hit, Your Honor. New picture! It's a photo we took of the victim with his hat off during our investigation. Well, that's quite shocking, isn't it? His head certainly was hit. But I have seen it happen. The defendant, he lunged at victim, his neck. Oh really, Miss Orley? I think I've caught you in your own lie this time. Justice? I admire your enthusiasm, but perhaps you should think this through once more. What do you mean? I found a contradiction. There's one thing in her testimony that troubles me. Very well. It seems we should continue the cross-examination. There's such a thing as thinking too much. This horse is dead. Let's stop beating it. Pinsadon believes in you. There's such a thing as thinking aloud too much, too. Alright. Okay, I think we can probably ask about that because it's not around his neck. There it is. Alright, we needed a close-up. You know, there was one curious part to her in her testimony, just like Mr. Gavin said. But what does it mean? Mr. Justice, would you care to explain what it is you're thinking so intensely about? Recall the testimony, Your Honor? The victim played with his hand on a locket at his neck. I believe she said? I hope you aren't about to raise an objection to the witness's grammar. No, but look at this photograph. Paragraph. Do you see a locket on the victim's neck? Well done, Justice. I'm impressed. I knew you'd be able to handle this. But what does it mean? If we were to believe this witness's testimony as is, then the locket disappeared following the victim's death. Lockets don't just disappear, Your Honor. It's quite simple when you think about it. The locket is gone. Someone must have taken it off. No. Taken it off. Wait, you don't mean... The defendant wasn't strangling the victim at all. He was taking off his locket. Wouldn't that explain it? Ah. Huh? Defendant, what do you have to say this time? Huh. Say. Yes? I just noticed this butt. You have something hanging around your neck, don't you? Oh, you mean this? Yes, it's a locket. With a photograph inside. A photo of my daughter. He's got a daughter?! It's Maya's kid, right? Come again? He did if he has a kid. Mr. Wright, you have a daughter? We confirmed it at the time of the arrest. The picture in the locket is indeed Mr. Wright's daughter. Huh. But Mr. Wright has a locket too. Check something. There's the profiles! Real quick. Fawcett Gavin, law officers, first-rate defense attorney, and my trusted mentor. Pianist at the Borscht Bowl Club, formerly a defense attorney of some renown. The victim in this case, a traveler only recently back in country. The prosecuting attorney. For all his experience, he lacks a certain presence. The witness in this case, a Russian waitress at the Borscht Bowl Club. He's only 21. You got. Why don't I buy that? This is just a coincidence. Well now, if the result of this poker game led to the murder, perhaps we should hear a bit more about the outcome of the game. Further testimony won't really be necessary. It's clear the defendant lost badly. Miss Orley, you will testify to the court about the game played between the victim and the defendant. Duh. Serious competition. The game began with 3,500 chip points in chips for each man. Most chips come in two sizes, small and large. The one who has the one who was winning, that was victim. For last hand, defendant with all play with all chips on table and lose. The moment loss was decided, defendant grabs bottle end from table end. Okay, that's changing your statements. Indeed, looking at this picture, it does seem to be a one-sided game. As the court knows, poker was the defendant's life. Failure must have been a bitter pill to swallow. Ah, how many times have I heard these words? I'd done it in a fit of anger, Your Honor, and now I regret it. A common tale, but true. Methinks the judge watches too many old court movies. Mr. Wright said he hasn't lost in 7 years, so this testimony must be wrong. Serious competition. The game began... Oh, I read that. Okay. Press. Are those the usual starting points? Were any special rules used? No, not special. Usual game, usual rules. If each man began with 3,500 points, then the total would be 7,000. Exactly 6? No, 7,000 points. Please, this isn't calculus. Not even long division. Those ships come in two sizes, small and large. Are the chips in this photo all the chips that were used? Duh? Of course. Something's fishy with these chips. Did I press harder? Yeah, because that's not enough to make 7,000, I would assume. Press it harder. Maybe you could explain a bit about these chips? Explain? What is there to explain? Poker chips are poker chips. They're not fish and chips. Not a chip off the old block. Not a motorcycle chip. Thanks. Now that I pressed her, I'd better guess something. What are these chips worth? Are they in dollars or rubles even? Yet, as I have been saying, before it was game, not gambling. Hard perhaps for capitalists to understand. Oh my god! 2 types of chips. 100 points, chip, and 1,000 points, chip. It is not money, da. Justice? Sir, don't you find her comment interesting? In more ways than one, sir. I'd have it added to a testimony myself. Well, does the defense want the witness dead? Yes. Yes, I do think this deserves further scrutiny. Add it to the testimony. I wish I knew where I was going with this. I do. Very well, witness, if you would be so kind. Diana. Yep, one is, 2 cans and all, so check the picture really quick. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I'm looking at 10,000 here. 10,600. So how exactly is there 10,600 in a game of 7,000? We'll hit her on that later. Press this part just to see if there's anything more to it, though. Miss Gavin said this testimony is important. To be honest, I have no idea why. What the hell? Mr. Justice, in the court of favor, and think of what you want to say before raising your hand. We're not in kindergarten. Sorry, I'm fine. I'd better think of something to ask. And quick. The 2 types of chips. Huh? The small ones are 100 and the big ones are 1,000. Right? Right, of course. Don't waste our time. Is that all? Yeah. Great, Mr. Gavin made me stop her, now I'm the one who looks dumb. Oh, Justice! Please try not to embarrass me like that. Huh? Who? Me? There's a clear contradiction in the information you have in your hands. What? I believe in you and your math skills. It's a simple matter of calculation. Go on, try it. We're not in kindergarten after all. Calculation? Next part. You're telling me that Mr. Wright, undefeated for 7 whole years, was losing? It must have been a most unlucky day for him. I am glad I did not take out a photo of him. It would break camera, certainly. The chips, they went always to the victim's side of table. They are telling us it was a one-sided game. One-sided and... Last hand. It was largest points of any hand. The defendant's hand, it was excellent. He tried to use it to take victory from behind. It appears that both the defendant and the victim's hands are in this picture. That is truly an excellent hand. However, so is the victim's. One with highest numbers wins. The defendant loses. The victim, Mr. Smith, had a stronger hand than the defendant and crushed him. I believe that explains what occurred next. Once cards laid down on table, it happened. And what happened next? Even to think of it now, I shake and tremble, I did not believe such thing would happen. What such thing? Please, you must believe. I had no idea. How could such thing occur? What such thing? Niet. The defendant had been hitting the victim. Yeah, I saw it all happen right before me. I saw a bottle coming down on victim's head. Decisive, isn't it, Your Honor? My witness saw the very moment of the crime. Remember, your first goal is to gather information. Yes, sir. Look out. Contradiction, here comes justice. Oh, that was the whole thing? Okay. Present chips. Objection! You're sure it was the victim who won? Absolutely sure? It seems our new attorney is a bit confused. A glance at the picture is enough to tell you who won. If you're not in kindergarten. Just for safety's sake, would you explain the problem to the court? Of course, Your Honor. In this photo, I see small chips and I see large chips. Tell me, which were worth 1,000 points? Why, the big ones, of course, duh! Oh, I thought so too, but then the totals don't add up. The little chips are 1,000, the big chips are 100, which is how you have 6 littles and 10 bigs. Yep, okay, yeah. I did the math differently. The totals? Phoenix has more big chips, but he couldn't possibly lose even at an all-in. Let's review what the witness told us. Each man started with 3,500 points in chips, and the combined total value of the chips was 7,000 points. Yes, if my calculations are correct, let's see. 3 plus 1 give me the 5. They are, Your Honor. Now, look at this photo that allegedly shows all the chips. No, okay, Phoenix has 4,100. This dude has 2,000 and 900. So he has 2,900. So even at an all-in, Phoenix can't possibly lose here. The big chips are of 1,000 points, and the small chips are worth 100. And you add them up. How much is it? Do it yourself. You aren't in kindergarten, are you? 10,600 points. The chips don't add up. This clearly contradicts the witness's testimony. But why? How could this be? Exactly, Justice. Now that you know the what, you must determine the why. Right, there's only one possible way to explain this contradiction. Both were right. It's not that they're wrong. Do both are right. Each man began the game with 3,500 points. If all the chips are indeed shown in this photograph, then there can only be one answer. Well, what is it? The value of the chips was the other way around. What? Want to know what I think? The small chips were worth 1,000 points, not the big ones. Madness! Out of madness! This is Sparta, buddy. Objection! This is Sparta. Show me the photograph of the chips again. There are 6 smaller chips and 10 large chips. Why, that does make 7,000 points when you add them up. Excellent work, Justice. It's almost as though you figured it out by yourself. Well, I'm just glad I was the one who said it. But wait! The value of the chips may be different, but that changes nothing. Indeed, the victim did have the larger number of chips still. Exactly. If the small chips are 1,000 points and the large chips are 100. Let's do a little math. Add up the points for each side of the table. The victim, Mr. Smith, had 2,900 points.
and the defendant was 2,100 points.
Well now, it seems that Mr. Wright was winning that night after all. That's impossible! My client had even less reason to kill the victim. After all, he was winning! Ah! Now, Miss Orley, you must have known the true value of the chips, since you were there at the scene of the crime. Weren't you? Eek! Catch. Pro. Maybe she's an assassin.
Order! It appears our defendant has lost his motive, and Mr. Wright's supposed defeat never happened.
Yeah.
We must now ask ourselves whether we can trust it.
Oh! Phoenix said hold it?
No, she did. Excuse me? What is it, Miss Orley?
I did not want to be saying this, but... Actually, you see, See what, Miss Orley? What do you see? What do we see? In the last hand, there was cheat. A cheat? You don't mean... a trick?
Wait. Or do you mean... a scam?
They're all the same thing. Yes, there was cheat in last hand. That is why game ends with chips as they are. Great, just great. First we have lying, now cheating. Well, this case certainly has taken a turn. For the interesting...
Witness, you will please testify to the court. Tell us about this cheating in the final hand.
Oh my god, more testimony. The final hand. The last hand, both men had full house. There's 4 of each card in deck from ace to king. If you look at both men's hands, cheat is more obvious. The next moment, game becomes argument, The defendant's trick was exposed. He took bottle in his hand. Oh, Mr. Smith. What? Miss Orley, why did you not tell the court about this from the very beginning? I thought I smelled the cover up here. Well, folks, it's time to throw back the covers.
The full house is a very high-scoring hand. Not easy to make in my experience.
That alone is enough to suspect less than scrupulous tactics. Mr. Gavin? What's a full house? Oh my god. I guess in case the player doesn't know. Lawyers these days, you don't know how you poker? You don't know your poker?
I can't say this bodes well for your case or your career.
What is this, some kind of secret court poker ring? Justice. You know the terms 1 pair, 2 pair, and 3 of a kind, yes? Yeah, no problem. 2 cards of the same number makes a pair, and 3 makes a 3 of a kind. Good, now picture a hand with 1 pair and 1 3 of a kind. That's a full house. That doesn't sound very easy to make, does it? You can see each player's hands in this photo. So what's the cheat? I see that down there, though. I'm wondering about that. I don't know if you can see my arrow. But you can see, like, a card in the bottom left corner. Or is that from the... Oh, the picture was taken after everything, maybe. Wow, they both have full houses. We forget there's an easy way to make a full house and go undefeated for 7 years. You cheat!
The defense may cross-examine the witness.
If he did cheat in the last hand, that still leaves one important question. Mr. Wright lost that hand. Who's ever heard of a professional con man losing when they cheat? Press it good. Just how hard is it to make a full house, anyway? It is quite hard, It is making a pair and a 3 of kind at the same time. I guess that's right.
Very difficult, to be sure. You can take my word as the head poker head of courtroom number 3.
Very difficult, but it's not impossible. Okay, full house hard. This line of questioning, a waste of time. Four of each card, you say? There is one spade, one diamond, one heart, and one club for each card. It is an interesting fact that this number 4 comes from number of seasons. Huh, you don't say.
Ah, and did you know that the cards are numbered 1 to 13? Add all the cards in a deck and you get 364 a year.
That's what the Joker's for. Ah, you don't say. Isn't that one day short? That's why each deck has 2 Jokers. There it is. They say the second Joker stands for the leap year. Oh, there it is. Thus you have a perfect representation of the year on a deck of cards. I did not know that, by the way. I'm gonna use that to blow everyone's minds at work. Oh my god. Oh, you don't say. We're going to be in this courtroom for a year if it keeps going like this. What's the obvious of the cheat? How was it clear? Well, the defendant, he played a 5th ace. A 5th ace? I still remember both hands very well. That's not the hand! Mr. Smith's hand was 3 aces. And Mr. Wright's 2. Obviously, cheating was afoot. Or perhaps I should say, a hand. She has the picture! Or they have a picture. She doesn't remember the hand correctly. Your Honor, perhaps this can be added to the testimony without Mr. Payne's jokes.
Very well, the witness will add this detail to her testimony, please.
That is an easy contradiction. Mr. Smith has 3 aces, and Mr. Wright's 2. It is 5 aces in all. A 5th ace. It should not exist, no? I still remember both hands very well. Mr. Smith's hand has 3 aces. And Mr. Wright's 2.
Well, where did this card come from then?
Perhaps we should ask the defendant that very question. Adding cards to a deck is no less serious a taboo than forging evidence in a court of law. That is Edgeworth, not Phoenix. Now, perhaps it's time for you to say something, Justice. You bet. I've no intention of staying quiet. No, not me, no sir. I better find some contradicting evidence fast. Kinda easy. Already found the contradiction. Do you recall what the men were arguing about? I believe so. The victim, he shouts, "You are a cheater," and then the defendant shouts something like, "I have objection." I have objection? Shouting objection, eh? Old habits are hard to break. First he bluffed his way through the courtroom. Now he bluffs his way through life. However, Mr. Wright lost the hand. It seems to cast a shadow of doubt on Mr. Smith. Humiliation from losing even when cheating. That is what set fire to the defendant's heart.
So what did the flaming defendant do next?
He murdered. By bottle, are you referring to this? Chateau Le Purple. The defendant used this bottle to This behavior is an admission of cheating by the defendant.
But why use a grape juice bottle?
You'll be surprised at what can be used as a weapon. This juice is recommended drink of Bosch Boat Club, This year's vintage is remarkable for its safety flavor. Hefty enough to brain a grown man, apparently. First she says it was a serious competition, now she says there was cheating. Justice, notice anything odd? Her testimony keeps changing. Now she says the defendant cheated. Actually, yes, I had noticed that. Let's get the truth about this cheating first, shall we? Right, leave it to me. Objection! It is. It appears the witness is mistaken. Mistaken? But my name. Oh, God! Miss Olga. Miss Orley. Miss Orley? Miss Orley? Miss Orley? Look, this piece of evidence clearly contradicts what you said in your testimony.
That's the photo of the chips, is it not?
Justice. Perhaps you ought to explain your points in a way that the judge can comprehend. In other words, use your finger to point at your point.
Yes, please point out the contradiction in this photo.
That's an easy one.
What particular point contradicts the witness's testimony?
The Three Kings. Where's Jesus? Why, it's here, of course.
It's where?
Where's that you're pointing? Where, good question. What? He's pointing at a damn king!
Already heard today on the dangers of bluffing.
Sorry, Your Honor. I'd better rethink this.
I think you'd best point out your point again.
Okay, I'll point at the aces then. Miss Orley, in your testimony, you made the following claim. Mr. Smith's hand had 3 aces. But as you can clearly see, the victim's hand only held 2 aces. Eek! Well, maybe the witness was simply confused. Perhaps it was the defendant's hand that held the 3rd ace in question. Nope. Take another look at the evidence. As you can see, the defendant also had 2 aces in his hand. Where's this 5th ace? I see cheating all right, and it's going on right here in this courtroom.
Two aces in each player's hand does make 4 aces total. Hardly proof of cheating.
Wait, please. It is true, I have seen it, the 5th ace. There was cheating, I swear to you. That's odd. She must be lying, yet she's the most sincere I've seen her all day. You're right to trust your instincts. Mr. Gavin? Who knows what lies in store for us in the trial ahead? Your Honor, if I may, I have a suggestion.
What might that be, Mr. Gavin?
If you don't mind, perhaps we might examine the actual cards?
The cards?
Mr. Payne? Yes? The players' hands that night were set aside as evidence, were they not? The defense would like to request the cards be shown to the court.
Very well, the prosecution will submit this evidence. Which will you examine? The victim's cards or the defendant's cards?
These cards don't prove cheating was going on, nothing will. Now, which of these hands is more suspicious? Victims! It was the victim's hand that changed over the course of the witness's testimony. The defense requests time to examine Mr. Smith's cards.
Very well, Mr. Payne, if you would.
Very well. Received victim's hand. Well, time's a-wasting. Time... Get to it, Justice. Yes, sir. Well, they're just gonna do it for me, okay. I believe in you. When examining evidence, be sure to view it from all sides and angles. Try using the dials on the evidence viewer. That should give you a better perspective on the case. Okay, let's do this. Easy peasy lemon squeezy, that is one of the kings. Well, what? Your Honor, look at this. One of the victim's cards. The back is a different color. That's impossible. But I put that card in Wright's hand. Ah! Oh my God! What was that, Miss Orley? What was that, Miss Orley? No, yet. I merely said I have Your Honor?
Mr. Gavin, yes?
Tell me, what is the easiest way to cheat at poker?
To cheat?
I'll tell you. To have your hands on the cards. One merely needs a friend, a comrade, shall we say. The dealer. Wait, so you mean... This witness, Miss Orley. She's the cheater. A professional, I'd wager. Yeah. Still a good catch.
Order! Order!
Focus, Justice. Time to take advantage of her. I mean, of her mistake. No, I mean the first one. Your Honor, please recall the testimony we just heard. That's impossible. But I put that card in Wright's hand. Ergo, Miss Olga Orley conspired to cheat, not with my client, but with the victim, Mr. Shoddy Smith. Woo! Not only did she cheat, she cheated poorly. Therefore, it's not hard to imagine an altercation between her and the victim. What?
Wait, you don't mean the defense isn't accusing the witness, Miss Olga Orley, are you?
Time for justice. There were 3 people in the room at the time of the incident. And if Mr. Wright isn't guilty, that means I am. The defense accuses the witness, Miss Olga Orley, of murder. Yeek! Oh, why didn't you catch it? Oh my god, it landed perfectly! That lobster is okay.
Mr. Payne, where's your witness, Miss Olga Orley?
It appears she has lost her consciousness, Your Honor.
Mr. Justice?
Your Honor?
It seems you've presented a new possibility to the court. One suggesting a connection between the witness and the victim, Mr. Smith.
That means?
This court cannot pronounce a verdict for the defendant at this time.
Yeah, what? I did it! I held out!
I see no point in prolonging the trial of this day. Prosecution will need to make further inquiries.
Phoenix? Mr. Wright? You can't end the trial here, Your Honor. Not yet. What nonsense is the defendant spewing now? Think, one of the cards had a different colored back. Don't you wonder what it means? What are you doing, Mr. Wright? Raising objections right when you're about to get off the hook? Ridiculous!
Mr. Payne, you of all people should know. Mr. Wright has a talent. But the ridiculous.
Oh my god. He's like, damn right.
Perhaps we should get to the bottom of things. Let's clear up the facts about the game that fateful night.
We're at 90 minutes, balls. Final testimony? I swear to God, it better be. Why do I hunch over when I do voices? Objection, Your Honor. As was said before, we alternated between 2 decks of cards that night. That was said before. The 2 decks at the club have different colored backs, blue and red. 1 color per deck. I use different colored backs, so you can't cheat. If we use the same color, the 2 decks might get mixed up. You used different colors and they still got mixed up. We used the red deck for the last game.
I see, but that's odd. For some reason, I have this impression that you were using the blue cards.
Yeah, me too. I'm sure someone said something about blue cards. Whatever! In the end, 1 card of the wrong color got into the mix. Which means there was cheating. Yes, a card slipped into the deck would seem to indicate cheating. Yet this card raises 2 serious questions. Apollo? Yes? Let's consider the first question, shall we? Think, in the last game, when was the card swapped? When? There are 3 broad possibilities here. It could have been swapped before the murder, during the murder, or after the murder. Well, yeah, thanks for the news bulletin, Mr. Wright. Of course it was swapped. Oh? It might be as simple as you think, Mr. Payne. Or it might not be. Yeah. I'd like to hear what Apollo thinks first. When do you think the cards were swapped? When was the card swapped into the deck? What if Bump Phoenix had a fedora? Oh my god. Alright, before murder, during murder, after murder. Perhaps it happened after the murder? What's that? Ridiculous! What's the point of cheating after the hands have been shown? That's silly! Yes, but tell me, how do you swap cards during the game? I'll take silly over impossible. Take it from me, son. There's a lot of silly in this world, but very little impossible. Oh, even when the backs of the cards are a different color? If you pulled that during the game, you'd be caught in no time. Oh, quite true. That would mean that the blue card in question was swapped after the hands were shown, after the murder. Okay, this is going past silly and straight on to crazy. Ask again, what's the point of cheating after the game's over? Who would do that? Who indeed? That's one of the mysteries before us.
There's another?
Yes, a simple, yet decisive question must be asked. Who swapped the red card for a blue card? Who? The game and murder is done. The victim is dead. Only two remain in the room. Alive, that is. The defendant, Phoenix Wright, and our witness, Olga Orly. Okay, so who was it that swapped the red card for the blue card? For fun, I want to do someone else. The one who swapped the cards wasn't Mr. Wright, of course. And well, it doesn't seem like it could have been Olga Orly either.
What are you suggesting?
That's hardly a logical conclusion, I'll admit. As the defendant, I think it only makes sense for you to name Miss Orly at this point. As the defense. Yes, I know. But she was the one who dealt the cards, right? I just can't believe she would make the mistake of swapping the wrong color card.
And if the card was swapped during the game, it'd be obvious.
Heh.
Something you'd like to share with the court, Mr. Knight?
Oh, my apologies, Your Honor. I was just thinking how much fun all this was. Is. Fun? How about confusing? I have no idea what the defense is claiming, Your Honor. If the one who swapped the card wasn't defendant and it wasn't Miss Orly, then who was it? Yeah, well, that is the question, isn't it? Precisely. Huh? I believe we're about to see this case take a new direction.
A new direction?
We'll find that, indeed, after the murder. Someone swapped one of the cards in the victim's hand. And that someone made two critical mistakes. I believe in you. I'm sure you're going to tell us that the first was swapping the wrong color card. Objection. Because the one who did the swap didn't know two colors of cards were being used. The other mistake was the number on the card. Right. The person replaced the fifth ace with a king. I'm sure whoever swapped it wasn't expecting there to be a fifth ace after all. Oh, it's Phoenix talking. Phoenix talking. Objection. I'm sure whoever swapped it wasn't expecting there to be a fifth ace after all. All they knew was that the game had been won with a full house. So they picked up a king from the table and swapped it in. But there's one problem. According to our case record, this person doesn't exist. True, but only now. When you have to admit the possibility of a fourth person. Though it's more than a possibility. There was someone else there that night, at the scene of the crime. What? Yeah, Phoenix Wright and Prince of Dawn are too close. That's a mistake I shouldn't have made at all, but I did. Alright, let's make him more edgeworthy, because he should have been. I believe the judge spoke truthfully earlier. You do make trials ridiculous, Mr. Wright.
This trial has proceeded on one central assumption. Namely, that at the time of the incident, there were only 3 people in that room.
I believe this new evidence, shall we say, overturns that assumption.
The problem is that you chose to conceal this information from the court.
I suppose that is a problem, yes?
Court is adjourned for a brief recess. Need to kickball a lot. Mr. Gavin, I'll see you in my chambers during this recess.
Certainly, Your Honor.
Very well, the trial will resume in 20 minutes.
Where's the save point? Okay. Oh, God. I'm calling that a save point because, oh my God, my throat can't handle anymore. Kickball is usually where the save point is. Maybe the save point happens after this. I don't know. We'll see. But for now, oh God, that right there is the game. I have fun. Hope you have fun watching. That's what it's all about, isn't it? Having fun. Thanks, come by, and see you next time.